The run.
Courier back-to-back. Sampras in 94. Agassi in sensational style in 95. But not here, of course, this year. He's rethinking his attitude to tennis. And Boris Becker, champion in 96. The players are now on their way out to court. And it's never failed to produce drama, this tournament. Certainly in the last 2 or 3 years we've had the most amazing matches. Of course, Sampras and Courier in 95, the most memorable. Here they are then. A shorn Pat Cash. With the Robbie Fowler noseband. And the left-handed Frana, ranked 110. Cash ranked down at 763. They met 3 times before. First time was at Queen's back in 1988. Seems an age ago, doesn't it? And at Wimbledon. So back-to-back grass court tournaments, and no surprise, Cash won in on both those occasions. 6-1, 6-1 at Queen's, but Frana took him to 5 sets at Wimbledon. Cash came back to win 6-1, 6-4 the last 2 sets, from 2 sets to 1 down. And then they met in 1995 at Pinehurst on clay. Well, that's very much Frana's patch, isn't it? 6-2, 6-love.
Yes, clay court you would expect, but a dangerous omen perhaps, the fact that match at Wimbledon. And remember, it was the year after Cash had won Wimbledon, so he was very much in his prime then, that it did go to 5.
Mike Morrissey, Britain, the umpire for this match. It promises to be noisy. Important for Cash to get off to a good start here, I sense.
Well, tonight marks an historic return to centre court for Pat Cash. He made the final of this tournament in 1988, and of course in 1987 he won the men's singles crown at Wimbledon when he defeated Ivan Lendl in straight sets. He has 6 career titles to his credit in singles and 11 doubles titles, and of course an outstanding record in Davis Cup for Australia. From Australia, please welcome Pat Cash.
Still pretty popular. He has his detractors, but a lot of fans too.
And Coral Springs, and made the quarterfinals in Mexico, Singapore, Tel Aviv and Atlanta. He has 3 career titles to his credit, and in 1994 he made the 4th round of the French and US Opens. This is his 5th appearance in Melbourne at the 4th Australian Open. From Argentina, please welcome Javier Frana.
Yes, his 5th appearance at the Australian Open, and he's won only 3 matches. Cash, runner-up in 87 and 88. Frana yet to appear this year, but as you heard earlier, terrific run last year on the tour. Semi-final appearances in Adelaide, Auckland, Bermuda, Pinehurst and Coral Springs. Surprised that his record isn't better on in this particular tournament.
Ronnie, yes, hasn't played it all that often. I think what was his best ever performance? 3rd round.
3rd round back in 87.
Yes. Lost to Thomas Muster here last year. In fact, lost to Muster at 2 of the Grand Slams. And although he reached those semi-finals, his ranking actually dropped during 1996, Frana. But as you say, Simon, I think important really from both their points of view, perhaps even more so from Frana's point of view, to get off to a good start, because there's no doubt the crowd is going to be overwhelmingly for Cash. So Cash is always going to have that to back him up should he, for instance, lose the first set. And like you, I happened to see Cash after he'd lost to Olszewski in the US Open. He was waiting for a car to take him back to the hotel, and he was really shattered because he'd put himself through the real hardship of qualifying, and that was certainly manly on his part to do it, and he's a pretty manly individual. And then having gone all the way, and then to just succumb to Olszewski, he wasn't in the, and seldom is these days, in the peak of condition for that match. And one just hopes that since then, I know he's been reasonably active over the so-called off-season. Do tennis players ever have an off-season now? He was playing a tournament, I know, in Austria in December. Happened to be spotted by one of our fellow commentators in St. Anton, with the likes of Medvedev playing an 8-man tournament there. Yannick Noah was also there, both playing and also entertaining the troops with his band. So
in India, because of his Olympic medal. Then at New Haven, lost to Byron Black of Zimbabwe, straight sets again, and then the loss to Olszewski in the US Open. So it'd be wonderful for him to get back to winning ways here in front of his home public. He's from Melbourne. Very distinctive noseband it is too.
Well, they'll be hoping that the checkered flag goes down for Cash at the end of the match. I suppose one of the problems, though, is Frana, we assume, can last match in and match out. You just have the concern about Cash, though, that even though he might win this match, just how far can he go? I mean, he's as strong as a bull, but at the same time, we know it's really almost perhaps a case of being too muscle-bound, or perhaps it's just accident-prone.
Yeah, as he knows only too well, strength and fitness are two different things.
Exactly. So I suppose really it's the old cliche of one match at a time, particularly for Cash. And therefore he'll be very concerned, and so will those supporting him. Then he wins it reasonably quickly.
It is amazing, though, for when you look down at the statistics. I was looking an hour ago preparing for this match and seeing that he'd won only 6 career titles. I mean, you know about all the injuries, but you still think, well, he's won, what, 15? I was guessing 15. 6.
Yeah.
Frana's won 3. And Cash's last title came in 1990.
Yes, it is extraordinary. Of course, I mean, there are players like him who've played very physical games and yet been able to annex far more tournaments than he, but undoubtedly injury has been a real reason for holding him back. And I think too there must be a question mark over his mental ability just to stick at it day in and day out. We know he can, as he showed at Wimbledon, can do it. And some people, I suppose, pointing to Richard Krajicek, saying, well, will he be a bit like Pat Cash, a Wimbledon wonder and a real wonder with a question mark everywhere else?
So we're almost ready to go. Our first live match here at Melbourne 97.
Pat Cash to serve, first sets.
Pat Cash of Australia, Javier Frana of Argentina, and it's the Melbourne boy to begin.
Play. Love 50.
What was that about? A good start? And if Cash does have any doubts about his own fitness, he only has to look across the court 52. And see those doubts compounded, doesn't he? Frana looks the epitome of fitness and sharpness. Yeah, we remember those volleys.
30-15.
Yes, it's a strong arm volley, really, not too much right shoulder in that. Just playing it a little away from him.
Yeah, Frana knows he's got to make passes, and if they're as good as that, he's got a real chance here.
30.
Cash using the topspin forehand, bringing it down a little short, as so often is the case. Of course, it's not easy to combine topspin with depth.
Yeah. I remember Martina Navratilova saying once when she won Wimbledon what she was doing when she wasn't playing. She says she was watching Cash volleying. Said she could learn a lot from the way he just gets down and stays with the volleys.
That's first serve.
Yeah. Slight loss of footing, but
Deuce.
the return was too good.
Yes, it might encourage him. Frana hitting as good a forehand return. It might encourage Cash just to serve volley a bit more on the behind the second serve. What he really wants is a high percentage of firsts.
Advantage Cash.
Yes, it's back and knee problems that have particularly plagued Cash. The knee has been the constant thorn in his side, really.
Again Cash.
Strong serving in the end, and you sense that the back injuries have
First game.
heavily restricted his serve. That was better, but in general they're around 15 miles an hour slower than they were.
And Frana, having played Cash at Wimbledon, where Cash would have looked to use the sliding serve a lot, would, I imagine, have served predominantly to the left-hander's backhand, particularly on the right court. And Cash has got the perfect action to do that. He's a man who can hit around the ball, can slice it. He can also hit it pretty flat with a bit of top. So he's got a great variation. But I imagine, really, that as he seeks for a higher percentage, he'll be looking to wing the serve towards the left-hander's backhand most of the time.
A terrific start to last year to Frana, winning the majority of his matches going into the French Open.
Please, ladies and gentlemen, thank you.
And moved into the top 40.
Javier Frana to serve.
But then had that slide that Fru was talking about, and his ranking dropping down at the end of the year, and it's dropped even further since. Out of the top 100 for the first time in 3 years.
15.
He really is a superb athlete. Last year, beat Daniel Nestor in the opening round, went out to Muster in 4 in the second.
30-15. 30.
A little looseness there from Frana.
Yes, well, just as Cash will be looking to send the ball away to the Frana backhand, so Frana will be looking to do that to Cash. And what he found was a good deep return at 30-15. And that'll be important for Cash. Here, just pushing it a little short, but just deep enough, he thought, to take to the net behind.
Game Frana. One game.
And all the early signs are that this is going to be a long, exhausting match. Still pretty hot. Clever use of the slice.
15 runs.
That may become quite a weapon during this match, because if you can keep the ball down low, particularly to somebody who would have played most of his tennis early on, as Frana has on clay, it's difficult for them to hook it out. We saw that last week with Henman keeping the ball low to Moya.
Oh, well played. Super rally. Difficult half volley. I thought Cash did pretty well to
15.
make Frana play a difficult shot.
Switch off all mobile phones and pages. Thank you.
Yeah, they're the kings here in Australia, bringing their mobile phones to the court and leaving them on. Roles reversed.
Yes, in the circumstances, this could be a really solid pointer to how some of the match may be played. One might have expected Cash, of course, to do all the attacking, and Frana will be determined to try and prevent that happening all the time.
That's for serve.
Well, so far, not really seeking to get as many serves as I thought he might try to the left-hander's backhand.
Suspended in midair. Good stuff from Cash.
Cash leads 2 games to 1.
And plenty of buoyancy around the court as their man looking more confident now. With serve so far, it's 2-1 to Cash.